Levi here with Hammer Fab. Day 5 on the Chris Craft boat restoration. Not really a restoration. Breaking out the big guns today. We've got the old cordless caulk gun here. We're going to be putting some Thixo Flex wood thickened epoxy adhesive and squishing that into the cracks between the boards today. So we're going to get some painter's tape involved. Blue painter's tape. We're going to mask both sides of the seams so we don't end up wasting a bunch of this stuff. I got 3 tubes. I think that'll be enough to do the sides and the back. So what we're going to do is mask it off, then trowel the stuff into each groove with some putty knives, and then that stuff will harden up and we'll be able to sand it, but that'll probably take a day or so for that to dry. All right, we got the port side seams all filled up.
Which you did off camera.
Huh?
Which you did off camera.
We did this off camera, yes. I don't know, man. You think I should wait? We were gonna unmask it, but you see how the seams are kind of dipping in a little bit?
Maybe you should wait and see.
Wait and go over it again.
Yeah, let's see what it does after lunch.
Yeah, let's go to lunch and then we'll come back and maybe do another real quick pass over those seams where it's kind of sunken in. Yeah, good call. Bring it back here. And Eric masked up the back here, so we're ready to trowel this stuff in between. So we're just going to take a little bit off. You know, that's how Bob Ross would do oil paint. You just scrape a little bit off, and now we're just going to smush it in there. So I'm not going to just, that's not all I'm going to do. I'm going to go back, I'm going to scrape it, and then push it in there really good. Same thing all the way over here to the edge. You know, we still have to go back and sand this all with 80 grit one more time after this epoxy dries, so don't worry if it gets a little too thick on there or whatever. I'd rather have too much in the cracks than not enough. And then the masking tape really helps make cleanup easy, and it helps you be able to spread that stuff out further. So you can scrape most of it back up and then smush it in there some more. I think that really helped extend the life of the tube instead of just instantly soaking into the wood. So you really want to work that in there good, because the board's about a 1/2 inch thick, and really I want that epoxy to contact the board as deep down in there as we can. And that's going to help stiffen up the boat and make it more rigid, because this won't be flexible in the end. It'll be nice and stiff. I mean, you ought to be able to just squish all of that material down in there. Guys, I'm getting pumped about this boat. Can't wait to get this thing in the water, get it flipped over so we can finish the top side, and then ultimately get it out and enjoy it on nice days like today. Instead of working on the boat, we could be cruising in the boat. I think there's just as much satisfaction as taking something old and refurbishing it. All the things you learn along the way are priceless. Especially like some of these products and stuff, you know, I'm learning about new products that we never used in the hot rod industry. And, you know, these are some nice products that are used in the marine industry that we might start figuring out ways to implement in the things we do on a day-to-day basis. So, you know, I see that as pretty valuable. Ready to do some unmasking? We got the port side of the boat all Thixo wooded with the thickened epoxy. Got all the seams filled really good. And then we went to lunch and let it dry a little bit, and then came back and then went over it one more time because the seams kind of sunk in a little bit. So now we're going to unmask it before it fully cures. Hopefully. right, we got the port side unmasked. We almost let the epoxy sit too long on top of the tape, so you don't want it to fully dry. You want it to still be kind of green while you unmask it. Otherwise your tape gets stuck up underneath it. Like we got a little bit there underneath the epoxy. We're gonna have to just sand that out. But we still gotta go over all these seams real gently once it dries with 80 grit. And then we got a few screw holes here we need to fill up now. It was just easier to mask it all in one hit, you know, for the most part. We had a few bigger cracks and seams and stuff here. That's why those aren't masked up. But we'll fill these holes and then sand it all down. But right now we're gonna flip the boat around, get some sunshine shining on the starboard side, and fill the seams on the starboard side. Alright, we got some Thixoflex squirted out here. I'm gonna have a board and Eric's gonna do a little bit. And then we just pop the lid off the stain here. You can see how thick that stain is. It's like a gel. So then we're just gonna get a little bit and mix it in there. And then a little bit, mix it in there. Probably don't need that, that's probably plenty. And then now we just want to kind of trowel this and mix it real good. You want to get that color all the way into that epoxy. Alright, we got both of us set up with some Bob Ross putty knives, paint knives, whatever. They're real nice and flimsy, and they're nice and flexible, but they're at an angle, so you don't have to be straight on when you're applying the stuff, so it's kind of nice. All right, let's go. Day 5 is complete. We got all of the Thixo wood epoxy, filled in all the cracks and seams and screw holes. So now we're ready to let that dry and then sand it one more time with 80 grit before we apply the Chris Craft post-war stain from Lake Oswego Boatworks. We made really good progress this weekend thanks to Eric, my camera guy. And be sure and like and share, subscribe, ring the bell down below. Don't thumbs down, thumbs up. We hope you enjoy the videos, and we'll have more for you soon.